How are you?
I'm so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to be muted the whole time. You can you put a thumbs up for me if you understand the rules?
Oh, she's throwing my lines at me. What in the flip? Oh my goodness.
Sorry, bad joke. It's okay. You have to make at least one, right?
Yeah, something like that. That works. That works. I feel like that's good. I'm not usually the one that's the guest box, so I guess it's very fitting.
You're a leader.
Something like that. I would say maybe.
You
I'm,
are.
I'm a setter. I'm a setter. I'm a trendsetter.
Okay, cool, guys. This is Christian Park.
Hi guys.
He is actually the man, the myth, the legend. He created the Elimination Chamber. He created that. Do you still do that? Do you do that on the other app?
Not as much as I used to. I think for me, I used to like run that like show every single day. I think the thing that made that show work because I was the first person ever on TikTok to do a show that had nothing to do with speed dating, and it was completely different, and it did so well for so long. But mental burnout is a thing, and you get really tired of doing the same thing over and over. And I want to be known as somebody who's not just a show host or a battler. I want to be known as an entertainer across like all spectrums of the in this business. So I don't do it as much, but whenever I do it, I only do big games where I can like give out like really good prizes to the winners.
Okay, what are your prizes that you give out?
When I went to the other app the first week, I did $1,000 a day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a lot. I was just kind of taking care of people, and I was spending more on the people than I was making on that app, but I was cool with that. Like I just wanted to because there's not a lot of people. Like $1,000 to a lot of people can change a life. Like you can your bills, you're on top of your bills. Then they can pay for your rent. They can do this, and that was my mentality on it. I wanted to invest in other people and help other people than more so myself. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that. That was in your little interview thing that you already had on your channel. Um, so like, okay, so you're out here gifting people more than you're making. I mean, is that sustainable? Is that something that you're gonna keep doing? Is that like,
For me, I've been very smart with like business. So, I've been doing social media now for a few years on just so many different platforms, and I invested my money properly, like before anything. So, like, I live in Los Angeles, but I'm from Alabama. I have properties there that people rent for me on, and actually, my brother that's gone through his own rough times lives with me. Only pays what I pay in mortgage. I make no money off of him. But I mean, there are some people who do pay me more to live in some other properties and stuff. But I've done that. I've made really good investments. And I will say, like, I do a lot of other stuff on the side to make my money. So the times that I do send out a ton of funds to take care of people, I'm like, I don't do things I used to do it a long time ago. I used to send more to the point where it would actually affect my mental health. But then I got to the point where I only send out coins if I can afford it and I'm mentally like good on everything. I don't believe in the recycle shit. None of it. I love it when people try to call me a recycler. I'm like, if I'm a recycler, I'm one of the worst ones ever because I have sent tens of thousands of dollars to select streamers and I've seen like maybe with all their stuff added together, maybe a uni worth over the course of like a year. So, I do things to help people and to boost their life. And then I do believe in karma. So,
yeah, no, me too. I feel like I really relate on that one. I'm not a 41. I'm a 37, but still, I mean, I
that's
don't feel any of that. So yeah,
massive things. I mean, that's like over $35,000. So,
yeah. I mean, it's not like a joke. You know what I mean? It's still a lot, but
fun.
okay, so wait, so do you have roommates? Like who lives with, so just your brother or
No, so it's just me in my place here in LA. My girlfriend lives here right now. She's in Arizona getting some of her stuff out of her apartment. But she lives here with me majority of the time. Her and my dog. that I adopted like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Oh.
Um, but it's just us two here. But then the properties in Alabama, it's like one of my buddies that graduated high school with me, my brother, and some other people that I found just an app. Like, hey, you need a place to stay? I got a room. I'll rent it out to you. But myself, no, I do not like living with people. I do live in a building with like other streamers. Like Marty lives in this building. A few like big YouTubers live in this building. Bennett Penny is like 5 minutes away from me, and a bunch of other like streamers. They're near me. But the only streamer that I technically know that lives in this building is Marty. He has his own place as well, though.
Okay, cool. So your girlfriend, who I don't even know who that is. Who's your girlfriend?
Her name on here is Barstool Blonde.
Oh, okay.
The cool thing about her is we met each other a couple of years ago on here. She had like 300 followers. She was just sitting in a chat, and she like shot her shot at me, and then I flew out to Arizona like maybe a month later after I met her. But I only had like maybe 2,000 followers at the time. I was really a small streamer. So she saw me at the very, very beginning, and I had just got out of a really bad breakup, and so did she. So it was kind of like one of those things where we both probably were not ready. So we like just stayed friends for a long time, and we've been together now like going on 3 months, I guess. But we waited a long time to get to that point. I focused solely on my business and solely on my life, and I was just having fun. Like I was just talking to as many people as I wanted to, and working business deals out and doing this, and I was just super happy. I couldn't have that. Then I got to this like comfortable spot, and I was like, I'm interested in seeing like what there could be with someone. So that's kind of the life I'm in right now.
I love that. I love that you guys both kind of like gave each other the time and like space to get to that point too. I knew her. I just didn't know that y'all were together. But yeah, she's really cool. I've thrown her some stuff before, on here. Like she's just a good vibe. Like yeah, she's just a really good vibe.
She's great, and like I said, I really like the part that she saw me at the very beginning, and like still rocked with me then, even though it wasn't our time to be together at the time. It was like we maintained that level of respect for each other later on, and we hung out as friends a lot. Didn't really do anything, and then as time went on, like feelings start to develop, and then things happen, and you're like, you know what? Let's try it out. And then next, she's living here, and life's like. Life is as good as I've made it, I guess. Or in our case, we've made it. So
yeah. When did she move in? It must have been like somewhat recent then, right?
yeah, like I would say like 3 months ago. She kind of moved in. Like she would hang out here because she lives in Arizona, or like lived in Arizona, and I'm in LA, so it's like really really close, like distance wise from each other. And but I was like, when you got there, you're like, just stay here. And then it ended up being like she was here for 2 weeks, and then it was like. I wasn't getting bored of the fact that she was here, and there was like 3 weeks, and there was 4 weeks, and I was like, you know what? If you want to stay, you can stay. And I was like, you know what? Then if you stay long enough, I was like, we'll get a dog. And cause I've been wanting one for a while. I left my dog back in Alabama with my brother, my golden retriever, and I wanted a smaller dog here, and then it all kind of worked out. So.
You guys literally have a child together.
Literally, that's we call him like a little boy, but
yeah,
he's adorable. That's definitely opened my eyes to like what it feels like to have a puppy around again. Something you have to like watch and like make sure they don't mess things up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like having that little bit of like challenge in a relationship is really healthy because then like later down the line, you guys already you're already familiar with how you handle certain like issues, especially when it comes to taking care of another life. So that's like a big one. But
no,
I think it's cool.
100%.
Yeah.
I could not agree more. Seriously.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your show, dude.
All right.
So when did you come up with the idea to do the Elimination Chamber?
So a few years back, I used to always do I used to always join a speed dating show. I was heartbroken. Thought I could find the love of my life on TikTok. Didn't really like seem to work out. Whatever. And what we would do is we had like it was like a rotation of people who would always come into the stream for the speed dating thing. And then when they were not up doing the speed dating thing, they would essentially go into boxes and wait to be called up, kind of. And it got to that point where it was like eight of us in boxes. We had about maybe 15, 20 viewers in the chat. And then I started playing the Elimination Chamber music, which at the time wasn't called the Elimination Chamber, but I started playing the background music. And I made myself the big box. And then I had like 8 of my friends over here on the right side. And I just started daring them. And then when they wouldn't do it, I would just kick them. And we were just having fun in boxes. That's all it was. Mm-hmm. And then I got to the point I was like, dude, I am so tired of using my entertainment value for another person's like benefit. Yeah. I'm so tired of that. And then I said, screw this. I'm going to create this elimination chamber. And I started calling, and then I used to do it every single night for like 30, 40 viewers. And it was always the same 8 players every time. And it was fun. Like it was cool. I was cool with that. It was like humbling. It was nice. I remember the first night I ever made like $200 in a night. I freaked out. I called my buddy Marty and I said, dude, I made $200. And he was like, I did too. And we were like, girly vibed over it. We were definitely kind of in shock because we didn't know that it was like possible.
Yeah.
On TikTok at least. And then it started this whole thing after. It was like I couldn't get enough of it. I was so obsessed with it. And then I did this thing that helped me like build off of it. Little Broad, the creator that I used to always go into live for the thing, I acted like I made him, but he technically speaking gave me the ability to make myself. And I said, and then it started this whole like phenomenon thing, like Christian with 1,000 followers is taking over TikTok, and people were talking about me, and I had viewers, and I would have 200 viewers with 300. And that's kind of like what got me started, really, was chipping some clout off someone else. And then I figured out how to like maximize it and then become myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, like you said, he was also using your entertainment value. Like it works both ways, you know.
100%. So I definitely got to that, and I think it's funny because doing my show, the amount of people who try to come up to my box, and like whenever I get off live, they're going live trying to do the exact same thing. I think it's funny. So I'm like, it reminds me of me. I'm like, I mean, I did it too. I'm like scratching my head, like, you want to be original, maybe? Like, I don't know, but I can't hate on them too much because I literally did the exact same thing for so long, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but you also like really wanted it. You built it. Like, I don't think anybody can get anywhere without, I mean, obviously, unless you have like pure raw talent, but without like support from other people. And in a way, he was supporting you through that.
Yeah.
You were also supporting him. So it's like, it's
definitely a mutual thing. I always told myself, like, dude, without you, like this certain thing wouldn't happen in a stream, and this little thing would happen there. So I definitely hyped myself up for like certain things for sure. But I agree, it's definitely a two-way street. But I think that's like the cool thing about what I did was like I trendsetted so early on something that nobody was doing. And of course, Frank Show's been around a long time, but it comes to like every show that was out, it's a different category, and I just didn't want to be everyone else. I wanted to be me.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that I feel like after I got started, 6 months into what I did, so many people were coming out with new shows. There was new Dare shows. There was this. There was that. There was scavenger hunts pop up. There was this, and I love that so much.
You like being the trendsetter. You like starting a new phenomenon.
I tell you, I keep my eggs in one basket. When it comes to like certain things, I will say this. This is kind of like groundbreaking. So there may or may not be something insanely crazy in the works that comes out this summer in July area that may or may not involve 50 to 100 of your favorite live streamers, and you might be able to be one of them, all pulling up to one location for this insane thing that puts Live Fest to shit.
I love
And
it.
working on it. And let's just say one last thing. There may or may not already be a sponsor that has already guaranteed the funds for everything. So I haven't unveiled anything yet. I've just been like talking and like keeping everything quiet, but I wanna do something different. I wanna see more people make more of their content. I'm tired of seeing the battles 24/7. I'm
Oh
so
my God, it's so boring. That's why I'm doing this.
yeah, I'm so tired of it. If I could make majority of my money sitting here talking to my chat and that's all I had to do, I would do it every single day. But of course, that's just how this app is. You have to provide incentive for people to do things like throw gifts and do this and do that. And it is part of it, but I'm definitely trying to break the mold. So we're working on that. We're working on something really, really big.
That's exciting. I like it. I like it. Okay, so you are with the Elimination Chamber. You've always been like in that leadership role. Um, you're hosting a group of people that can potentially get into like some issues, some trouble. Um, has it always been easy directing a group of people like this? Like, what kind of troubles have you run into? Does taking the lead come naturally for you, or like have you ever been nervous to do that? Like, is that just your personality?
So I'm a very take control person. If I want something, I want it, and I take it. And before I did any of this years back, I started this car organization in the state of Alabama. It was the largest car organization in that state, and I was the only one operating a show slash type of event that I charged for when it came to cars. And I would have tens of thousands of people at my events. It was crazy insurances. It was crazy things I had to do. Ultimately, I sold my part of the company a while back, but I loved every bit of it. But there was times when, yes, I'd be sitting or standing and having a microphone in my hand, and there was thousands of people in front of me, and I would just talk to them, and I would tell them how thankful I was. Thank you for selling out this. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing that. I've always been in sales, and I've always been in like that marketing mindset. So when I got on here and started running the show, let me tell you, like this is actually something I'm very, very passionate about, and this is what a lot of creators are missing. When you do a show, it's not just about you; it's about the people who are coming up there and stepping up. Because without them, there's no you. Without you, there's no show. So there's so many different commonalities there. But what I'm passionate about are the people that come up there. They might be weird. They might not. They might have a few screws loose. Some of them might be perfect. It doesn't really matter. But some of them never got that attention when they were younger. Some of them never got that exposure. Some of them weren't the athlete of the freaking team. Some of them weren't team captains. They weren't the smartest. They weren't the healthiest. It doesn't matter. And I wanted to create a space where anybody could come up, no matter what you look like, and you could feel excitement. You can win. I mean, I have 5 people who have now got tattoos of like meat on their body. Like, we got a new one the other day. They literally, entire forearm. I love Daddy Christian. I'm so serious.
I love it.
Like, it's crazy. And the thing for me is it matters so much to me to see these people when they would come up there, to give them their special moment. I want them to I want them to have their moment. So I will say, in regards to like taking control, like, yes, I'm great at that. It comes naturally. But there are people who do give me problems. There are people who make my life a little bit more difficult, for sure. But I've created like this like culture around my show that if I do it, you follow my rules. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you BS me, I don't care if you're a creator or not. I will just kick you off. I don't care if your presence there gives me 400 more viewers. I could care less. Get them out of there.
Yeah.
So yeah, in regards to it coming easy, I think it does. But the reason why I have done it and done it successfully is because I don't think about myself. I think about what is this going to mean for this person if they end up winning.
Yeah. So there was a situation. I haven't seen like a ton of it only because I'm like I get grossed out really easily, and obviously, like I will throw up. Like I will if I see something that, yeah, But when I did click in there one day, it was this not kid. He was a grown adult, but he was living with his parents. And he got in trouble and there was a potentially like a maybe abusive situation going on. I don't really
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
that was the his name's in my head, but he
Yeah.
here's one thing that I like to say. No, yeah, Chi, that's right. A lot of people that try to maximize off of clout. They try to maximize off of exposure. And you got a thousand people in there. What better way to make it seem a little bit crazier than it actually was, so that when you go live, people feel that sympathy. And I had that happen a lot. Like after that whole thing happened, I had got off live and went and sent them 30,000 diamonds. And he didn't win. He was eliminated. Everything. I went from 30K because I'm thinking to myself, like, he kicked out. Like, I feel bad. And I had like people like looking for places he could stay that happened to be in the area. But then all of a sudden, the next day, everything was fine. Like, and then he was able to play the show again a week later. Like,
He did play the show again. I don't know if your sound is a little like is your phone sitting on the desk or something?
should be good now. Yeah.
Okay, that's way better. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he did come back on the show. It did play in the same house, and one of the parents were involved with one of the dares one night, and they were totally fine. So
Oh.
I think I start looking. There's a lot of times where people. Yes, I'm gonna tell you the craziest thing that's ever happened
Yes.
was this kid. You know Lyrics.
Mm-mm.
I love name dropping. I'm very blunt.
Yeah, let's do it.
Lyrics, he's a kid on here, semi-adult, 23 years old, but he like claims all these issues. So I call him a kid for the way he acts. Anyway, he manipulated. You remember the Trucker Skittles thing, right?
Oh yeah.
He pulled a Trucker Skittles, but a little bit like more able to speak. He apparently was caught years ago and did this, but then made a new account. And this guy, by the way, not 2,000 followers. He had like 100,000 plus on his account. Like he like was well known with his videos. He got to the point, came on my show. I ended up kind of helping him win the game one night, and then my team and everything, the family that we built, sent him like 115,000 diamonds, okay, in his box. And this is before I even took a percentage of it. And like that for him was like life changing. It was a little bit before Christmas. Well, because of how life changing it was, he went and got a tattoo of the Elimination Chamber on his arm, whole arm covered. And he's showing Tourette's. He's showing this. He's like acoustic, and he's all these other things. Like he's got all these problems, and he like hits himself a lot. Like it was crazy, but like it seemed so like genuine. And so then Marty and I put him in the ranks one day, whatever, and he ended up finishing that day with like a couple million in the ranks.
Wow.
Like he did well for himself, to the point where like Tyler River got off and sent him get a 17K roller coaster. He battled. I got Trey next door. I had Trey battled him. Austin battled him, Tyler River battled him, and a few other big creators battled him as well. And then at the end of the night, it was like conceded me, him, and somebody else. We were all just hanging out. And then he gets exposed like the day after. And that all started though because people take advantage of viewers, shows, and people's hearts and emotions. That's why I always tell people, unless you fully know,
Yeah.
do not do a thing, because people are manipulating everyone these days. And if anybody doesn't know in the chat, the Trucker Skittles guy stole over $60,000 in 2 days, and people were finessed.
It was bad. It was really bad. I remember it all happening and all coming out. Ugh. Yeah. So he pretty much did the same thing then.
Yeah, he did. He did it. And I mean, obviously, the kid made a little over $10,000 and everything like that, and then he gets exposed. And the sad part about it was just like the amount of people that were calling me out for it. You know, they were asking me like, Christian, how do you know it's true? Like, how do you know? And like, they're getting mad at me because like in their mind, they only see him as what he's portrayed himself to be.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting canceled because I'm shit talking a kid that has all these apparent issues. But I also got to the point where I was like, I don't give a damn. Like you either respect my opinion or thoughts on something, and I'm telling you what I know, or you can just do without it. And then, of course, the kid got banned, and he still does it today. Like he still does it. Like he has an account right now, and he does it. So he's beyond. He's not like Trucker. We don't ever see him again. This kid's still actively doing it. People come to my chat at least once every 2 weeks or something like that. Hey, did you know Lyrics is still doing this stuff? But he finds a new group of people, and they gift him. He finds a new group of people, and they do it. And it's like I went there on a burner one day, actually. When I heard about it, I was like curious to see what he's doing. Went there, typed in the chat. It's like, hey, what's that tattoo on your arm? Oh, this one? I don't really talk about it very much. I mean, but you know how crazy it is to get a tattoo of something just because you want 10 G's?
I mean, he got the tattoo with the money that he made. I mean, it seems like he's not very responsible regardless. I don't know.
Oh, no. After he got all that, he went to Disney World and flew out to Disney, paid for one of his other friends to go out with him. I mean, bro was living like an actual king. Well, you know, he finessed everyone, and it was a bad deal for sure.
Yeah. Is that like the worst thing that you can remember happening from your like?
I mean, we did
outcome from your show.
I would say the most disturbing thing was a guy. I loved him so much. He was so sweet. He would always play and actually one of the people in the chat they put it in there. That's what made me want to say it. He would always come in. He worked at Waffle House. Just a genuine dude, and he had a wife at home. And he proposed to her on my show too, like months prior. Like, and by the way, I've had 3 or 4 proposals now, and they're still together actively. Like, I'm supposed to officiate a wedding this year for one of them. I told them I'll get my license if they fly me out. But anyway, this guy, so cool, so good, whatever. He's on live, and I just bring up all 8 people, and I'm doing all the rules, and then. During the national anthem, I used to do it all the time. Got to put your hand over your heart, like show some respect. Like this is not about you. This is about the people who are beyond you, like that are out here making it where you and I can do this. So respectfully, hand over your heart. Blah 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 blah. This guy, all of a sudden, he's just doing this. He's just doing this. He's just like fidgeting and stuff. I'm like wondering what the heck's going on, but I don't. I pay it no mind. I pay it no mind. Everybody in the chat, I had like 2,000 people in there at the time. They're all freaking out. Why is he not standing up? Why is his hand on his heart? What's wrong with him? Why is he acting weird? And I after the whole thing was over, I stopped for a second. After the national anthem was over, I stopped and I said, "Dude, are you good? Why are they saying this? What up?" He unmutes and he goes, "I just found out that my kid died today." I'm like, huh? You just found out. Like, these are serious things to say. You just found out that your kid passed away today. And then you're taking the time to be on my show. And things are, like, kind of really weird. Okay? Yeah. And then it goes on to, I found out today at 12 that he wasn't doing well. And then now I found out that he's officially passed. I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So then, of course, the chat goes into limbo. They freak out. Straight to Google, because he said that he was, I'm going to use some terminologies here, decimated because he was shot. Okay. No parent in America, if they is going to have the time to join a TikTok live to do dares. I don't know why this guy decided to do it. Nobody's going to do it. They're going to be at the hospital because their son's probably on life support and they're trying to take care of him. And his son's allegedly 3 years old. Oh. Like, okay, these are getting really crazy. This is a crazy story. People come back to me and they're sending me all these things. Brother, he's only registry, like for like being one of those like offenders. and he like he's done it like 2 or 3 times,
Oh
and
no.
he like his wife is like patting his head while he's still lying. Like he's just lying and lying and lying. She's patting his head, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, and he's trying to lie. He's like, I'm also upset because this is like, and he doesn't know I know this yet. By the way, I'm just like collecting. I'm letting him lie to me at this point. I got
Wow.
5,000-6,000 viewers at this point. People are just obviously they're hearing a kid got whatever they, and you know when a kid gets whatever, that's in the news. That's headlining news. And that's
Yeah.
everybody found out that it wasn't like legit. So she's like patting his head. He's crying, or at least making it seem like he's crying. And then it goes on to this story about, man, you seem a little bit more upset about something else. And I knew he wasn't, but I wanted to like act like he was so we could add more to the lies. And he goes, yeah, this is also like the day, like this is like the remembrance, like anniversary, I guess, of my grandmother. She passed away, and the hurricanes and Florida. And I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry about that. And I don't believe him, but I'm like, I'm sorry about that, man. Like the kid and that same day, man, it must be tough. And he's like, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I goes, which hurricane was it? And he started trying to say like the new one, the one that, like the big one that we had like earlier this year or last year or later last year, whatever it was. I'm like, how many years ago was this? 6. So then he started saying the name of that one from last year, and I'm like, oh, so 6 years ago, but same name as the new one,
Yeah.
6. So then I started like acting like I was doing this. I was like, I'm looking for you, bro. I feel so bad, and I just came up with the stupidest name in my head. I said, wait, you're talking about the Darfuniak one, aren't you? Oh my gosh! And I immediately do this, like I'm so, and he starts crying more. And he's talking about how the Darfuniak took out his grandmother, but the Darfuniak's not even real. I just came up with a random word in my head, and he like ran with it. And I'm not gonna lie, at that point my chat's just having a fun time. But then we have to get serious again because he's like a registered person, and he's talking about how his child was just murked. So I'm just like,
Gosh.
whoa, now, like what the flip? What is going on? And then next thing you know, like while he's like looking away, and his wife's kind of like, let me go get you a glass of water. I made my background his mugshot with all the stuff, and when I'm like, yeah, man, like I'm sorry, and he does this, and he goes, it's like that's the stuff that I didn't want to get out of there. I didn't want that to get out. It's like, bro, it says it wasn't. And here's the crazy part: it was his cousin's child he did it to. Which his cousin's child matches the description of the kid that he said passed.
It doesn't matter whose. I mean, dude, like.
So he was saying that his child that got murked was really the child
Wow.
that he did it to.
Wow.
That low key is technically speaking, the most wild thing for him, like to say all that, and he got exposed, and then he, of course. Dude, the amount of people that went live when I ended my live so that they could finesse viewers with him as a box. Speak your piece. I think his name was Drew. Speak your piece, Drew. Like, tell everybody. He had like 2,000-3,000 viewers, and this guy that was hosting live had like 1,000 followers. I'm like, dude, why are y'all doing this? They're all lynching off clout. So I went re-live because they wouldn't let me up in the box. Because he was taking Drew's side. Dude, it created this whole ordeal. I was thrown on Reddit for making jokes about it. But I wasn't making jokes about the incident. I was making jokes about the Darfuniak thing, you know?
Yeah.
And they were like trying to make me seem like be a bad guy. And then like obviously I had posted under the thread like all the clips of like me being really serious about the actual incident. And he was just oh my God. So in regards to the craziest thing, that's it. That's technically the craziest outlandish thing I've ever seen on live.
Wow. That's crazy. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah. So the people on this app, they definitely, you give them a little too much, they'll take a lot. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it seems to be a common theme with everything you've said so far. Besides your girlfriend, who never cared about that and saw you in the first place and just liked you for you.
Right. You know, so many different things have happened, and I will say all those things adding up definitely does take a toll on me because I just get tired of like the BS. I get tired of the people who are just taking advantage of me, and you're all like risking the fact that like this is my livelihood, like this is how I make majority of my income, and you guys are out here doing something like this. And if I wasn't like essentially PR trained, it'd be a nightmare for me because if I do not handle it the best way I can, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. People are going to hate on me forever. And I'm not trying to get to that point where I'm looked at as, dude, you're like terrible at this. Like, so I don't know. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, I definitely, like, I've seen you handle difficult situations in real time. Like, I definitely, I don't know about PR trained, but you handle it well. Like, I feel like it comes from being a good person.
Yeah.
You don't need PR training when you.
Yeah, I guess that, and that probably just comes from just being, I think,
the heart.
Yeah, I care about people. I try to I don't know. I don't really put up a lot of shit. It's kind of like I say it like it is, and I don't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah. Okay, so back to like the whole like your show as it is. I mean, so like okay, you've obviously gotten plenty of hate, just like every other creator, right? Literally, we all get it constantly. I've had my own death threats, so I'm sure whatever you've had going on is intense. But what about like the whole ethical aspect of your show? I mean, like, do you feel like there's ever like pressure for your contestants to do things that they would not do? Like, what do you have to say to that?
Well, at the very beginning of the show, I've made it very, very clear. You have to give me a thumbs up. I have to see everyone's thumbs up. And you're essentially giving me a verbal / physical, like, okay. Like, I'm okay with this. And I know it's completely up to me. And I say to them, you are not forced to do anything here. It's completely up to you. If you choose not to do it, it is solely up to you. But I've had people try to press charges and sue me before. You know what? You know how well it works when I presented anything to a judge. The judge says, "If he tells you to jump off a bridge, are you going to do it?"
Right.
I literally have heard that same saying over and over, and it makes no sense. But I also, anyone who tries, this is my life. I will fight you I will go crazy. And then the immediate response, I had this. The craziest thing I had, technically speaking, was this lady. She was pregnant. Never knew she was pregnant. And I usually, if I can assume maybe you're pregnant without being disrespectful, and I've done that a few times where I knew they were pregnant, so I asked them prior. I will give them things that I think are respectful for what they can do. Okay, because you don't need to be eating raw stuff. You don't need to be doing disgusting things because you have a child inside of you. You got to be taken care of as well. And but this one girl, I couldn't tell at all, didn't know or anything. And I get canceled, per se, because I dared someone to do something crazy, but she was pregnant. And then I'm pregnant, right? And the next it became a whole thing and whatnot. For me, I make it very, very clear that it's completely up to you and you do not have to do anything. And I have made it very, very clear, even the people who have played 50 times in a row, you still have to give me a thumbs up before each and every game. And I screenshot every single time I do it. And then I usually have screen recordings of every single thing, and it's all logged. And I will present that in the courtroom. And I'll tell you this, the people who have the time to typically play typically don't have enough resources. And this is no offense. I've noticed the ones that are the ones that typically do complain don't have enough resources. They're nitpicking at nothing because they have nothing. Those are the ones that they act like their life is so shit, so they try to make my life bad. So in regards to people bashing me because I do this and do that, I go back to what I said earlier. These people who do the crazy things, and most of the time I'm not even the one daring them, they're doing it their own self, like when I do the crazy AF challenge. These people, this is their moment. They're doing it because maybe they didn't have that moment back in high school. Or maybe they were never the best. They were never this, they were never that. That's their moment. If they want to do something gross, whatever. But to them, they're so happy. And the best person I could say is Ryan. Ryan, that is the man on here. Has his name on here. He's like 40 something years old, and he goes in there and he does every crazy thing, and he annoys me sometimes. But when he wins, he is so happy, and he's the one who does the gross things. But he's so happy and he feels so good about doing it. That's why I do it. So it's like, come on now. I don't care if people hate on me. Whatever. You know what I say? For every 10 people who say no and they swipe past me, there's going to be one person who swipes yes and says, "Oh, I like Christian. I like what he's doing." I could care less about the other 10.
So aside from like, okay, what about putting people in that like place though? Like people probably wouldn't. You're right. I mean, if somebody told you to jump off a bridge, are you really going to just because they told you to? Like,
Exactly.
like that's 100% correct. But like peer pressure is a thing, right? I mean, that's
It definitely gets to that point, but we try to put that aside. I tell them all the time. There's clips that are on Reddit from a long time ago. I'm sure people can find them. There was a guy. It would have given me. I literally went up to almost 10,000 viewers because of it. He was going to jump off the roof of his house into a trash can on the first, like 2 stories below,
right.
at like midnight. And I literally said, if you jump off, I will never let you play this game ever again for the rest of your life. I do not personally let certain people do certain things.
Okay.
There's certain things that I do not want to cross. Even on the crazy, that was I did not dare him to do it. It was crazy AF. You got to do the craziest possible thing in your own thing to win. I will not let certain things happen. I personally don't. But the thing is, this is created. So this is an opportunity when you get on those shows. This is a show that can create an entire like livelihood for you if you maximize like your ability to win people over and like you. When you go live and I'm not live, people are going to come show up for you. I literally, she's in the chat right now. Kayla, comment real quick. I'm going to let you see this.
I love Kayla. I love
Yeah.
Kayla.
Kayla started out on my show with like 800 followers. She has over 200,000 now in 6 months. But she started by playing my show every single night. And then it like broke her out of her shell. She used to, yeah, Kayla right there. It broke her out of her shell. She used to always do the dares in the movie theater all the time. And the next thing you know, she comes up with her own idea. And girl has more followers than I do, and is freaking crushing it.
Yeah.
And it was because she maximized the resources that she had gotten, and she, I guess, in her own mind, I gave her the ability to think outside the box. And I was like, let me try this, let me try that, and then she hosts her own things now. And that's the kind of success that I like to see people have, based off of what I can prepare and like provide, I guess, you know?
No, I love that you do have like an overwhelmingly like positive perspective about your work. I mean, as you should. Like, do you see any cons to the show?
There's always cons. The fact that I tell anybody and everybody, you know, if you're gonna do a show, you need to make sure you want to do that show, because the expectation that I have to do that show every single living day of my life is suffocating. I want to live my life. I want to, if I do want to battle, or like the other day you came in and you said you want to interview me. I was gaming for like 11, 12 people. I was cool with that. Like, I'm not chilling. I'm not money hungry. I'm just hanging with my boy and I'm just whatever. I was happy. And that to me is the biggest con, is everyone expecting me to do it over and over and over, and enough's never enough. And I have to keep doing it, and I have to do this, and I have to do that. So,
That's fair.
I see what Kuku's saying. Like, what am I able to do with the liability of guilt? Like, but for me, like, these are people who choose to do it. They've watched it before, and if they're requesting up knowing that they've probably seen it prior. I never have people who I'm like, hey, how'd you hear about me? Oh, I've been watching for like 6 months. Those are the people I usually have. I don't have people.
Requested when I had no idea what it was.
Keith was like begging you to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had no idea what it was, though. I had never seen it before.
You were peer pressured to do it. And there are people who get
Yeah.
up there, they're like, oh yeah, the girl that's in your second box, she like begged me to get up here. But most of the time they're prepared. They know what's happening, and it is just part of it. I would say though that that's the biggest con is the expectation to do it. The saddest thing I've noticed is I definitely have way less people that watch me if I'm not doing shows. And I've built such a crazy community that, like my Discord, I mean, I've combined almost 3,000 people in it. Like, it's sad to know that if I at everybody about something, if it has nothing to do with the show, I can go fuck myself. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yes. I don't know though. I mean, you obviously have like your supporters that are ride or dies, and like, I don't know. I do think there is something about TikTok itself that it's like clickbait. Like, you need to have that thing. I don't know. I think that's just TikTok. I don't necessarily think that's personal. But
no,
I get
I think a lot of the time it's because it's not what they followed me for, and I understand that. Like they followed me for this one thing, you know. And if you start, it doesn't mean they're gonna like everything you like. But when I look at a few thousand people, and then 10 to 15% of them are the ones that like, oh, Christian, cool, yeah, whatever you want to do. That to me is a little sad because for 2 years straight, I gave you guys everything I had and went live 3 to 4 hours a night only for that show, and then I would do 8 hours during the day to make my income, and then I would also send out as much as I could to make sure you guys were taken care of. That to me just tells me that when I'm there for you guys for your entertainment value, when I need you at this, I can't have you.
I honestly, I kind of am feeling that burden right now. I'm doing these interviews and I'm loving them, but then I'm not even I'm making way less now because I'm actually making good content. So it's like, I can really understand and relate to that.
Yeah, when I went to the other app, I we did live pro in a week over there. It was really fast, did really well. That was when it was like boosting up like crazy. I gained like 16,000 followers in like 4 days. It was huge. And then but things have definitely like slowed down. Like they are so slow. And it's you know I think it's gonna come back up, especially here in like 3 days when everybody goes to 40% on this app and has to work back up to 53.
We're going to the other place. That's
Yeah. So, you know, but it's interesting knowing that I'm over there and I'm like, this is the time where I need you the most because I'm having to restart kind of a brand new structure. And without you guys, I'm not going to have that boost that I needed. And I will say I had a great group of people help me push up there and I've enjoyed it more. But yeah, technically speaking, if I wasn't smart with my money, I'd be like low-key like hurting financially because I'm also trying to put out better content and better things. And I'm also working on this thing that I haven't told you about, thing I was telling you earlier. That's going to be bigger, but that's not until July. So I'm making less money because I'm trying to become like, I want to be that entertainment person. So
I will say there's ebb and flow with like unstable jobs like this though. Just always. Like that's kind of
oh yeah,
the way that it is.
comes and goes, comes and goes.
Yeah. So what's the nastiest thing that you've experienced on your show?
Nah, people have ate shit, their own shit. There was one particular person who gargled milk to make out with her biological real sister, like with the milk in her mouth still, and it was like transferring to both sides while they were making out for 15 seconds. There was one other person that made out with his mother, like now 10 times for like 30 seconds a piece, maybe sometimes 5 or 10 seconds, but couple kissy kisses, but like with tongue. Yeah, I mean, nothing crazy, Oh yeah, somebody ate their grandmother's ashes. His mom gave him permission. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I didn't tell them to do it. I would never dare someone to do something like that, but they did it on their own.
Okay. Who is your favorite ever co-host of your show?
Co-host.
Yeah. like Heath, like what Heath Dillon did. You know, I don't know if that's what you call it, but like, yeah, you get what I'm saying.
He doesn't talk to me very much. I honestly, if and, you know, my feelings towards him are a little weird. I've invited him a bunch of times and stuff like that. I feel like I gave him such a good platform and helped him a lot. And I will say, I would say this if he was here. I feel like I was kind of like used a little bit. And he was cool with taking, but never really like giving when it comes to like the show aspect of it. So I will say, I would say it used to be like him, but then I don't hear from him ever and everything like that. And he might get mad at that or whatever if this is clipped out. It's part of it, you know. He fucking messaged me Merry Christmas. He texted me Merry Christmas on Christmas, whatever the heck. But I responded back to him. But I was just like, when I remember getting the text, like, what the heck? And I'm like, you don't even talk to me. Like, we don't even.
I used to be tight too. There's some weirdness there too, so I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of just like whatever. I'd say it used to be him, but I mean, I'll tell you what, Barstool to me is one of my favorite ones because you may or may not know this. A long time ago, when she did have the 300 followers, I like told everybody in my chat when I started getting bigger, when I had like 600 viewers in my life, to follow her, got her enough followers to go live. She won the game like 10 times herself. She cut her hair, she ate crazy shit, she lived off the floor, she did the toilet stuff, she did it all. And low key, it was fun bringing up someone who had also played that many times and people respected, because then she also knew how to give the dares,
Yeah.
whatever. I really, really enjoyed that. But usually the most iconic one, when I brought in T Wayne, seeing his reactions to these dares, he had never watched my show in his life. And he goes in there and he is just listening and watching. I mean, oh my gosh. I will say, and then he gave us like a little show at the very end. He did like his Porsche song, like he like said it, he like sang it on live after. It was like a really, really cool thing. We had like 5 million likes on that episode. It was huge. But yeah, exactly, Court. He was so mortified and so like, no way. He barely dared anyone. He just sat there. He was honestly just like, that was like his job, was to show everybody how cringed he was, like how much it was hard to watch. So yeah, I would say most fun and best co-host would probably be goes to Barstool. Best, just like all around, like you want to laugh. T Wayne for sure. He's done it twice now, and both times he can't accept like how gross it is.
Yeah, me neither. Oh God, sorry. What about with Six? Was that fun? Hosting with Six?
That he never showed up. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy because I was gonna interview him on my birthday. That's when we had it scheduled, and then he never.
I let him know how I felt about it. I'm cool at Six. I have no problems with him. I definitely let him know how I felt because he was on a banner and everything. And I'm like, it kind of gets to a point where like maybe you don't take my shit serious, but whatever. Him and I are great now though. I literally think he's a funny ass dude. I'm cool with him. But in regards to like that, he never got to co-host. He never got the option to do it again. Because once you fuck up with me once, I usually don't bring you back.
Yeah. No, like I don't have a problem with him either. I just like low key think he's kind of rude. Like he just doesn't care. But I don't have like a problem with him though. Like he just kind of is like rude.
Everybody's gonna have their own opinion, and that's the coolest thing about it is like you can have your own opinion. So I technically don't speak to him like that, but like him and I are similar in other ways. So technically speaking, him and I are fine, but. Like I said, that's when you have to separate business from friendship.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Cool. Who was your least favorite co-host?
Well, I would say
out of 50
I'm going to my page right now. I would say, I mean, I feel like it's fair to say my least favorite has to be the one I never had. 6. I mean, I feel like that's fair without throwing anything under the bus, unless you want to take what I said earlier. And, I said technically who I'm kind of like, I don't really talk to anymore. I mean, technically speaking, that would be my non-safe answer.
Oh, okay.
Because now that I feel like it was all a game to generate clout, and it wasn't like because you like really, really fucking like loved me like you act like you did. So, yeah, but I'm not gonna say that name again.
Yeah, no, for sure, you're good. Okay, so let's see. Let's change topics here. Tommy Two Coats wanted me to ask you, and he's gonna be mad that I just brought his name up, but I don't care. He wanted me to ask you why you don't want to live in downtown LA.
Tommy is such a bot, dude.
I love Tommy. I don't care.
I think it's bummy. I think it's a bum ass place.
Okay.
There's too many homeless, too much shit on the other side of the road. People are using the restroom when you walk out your door. I'm in Hollywood, and people do it in Hollywood. Downtown is just that much worse. I don't want to be anywhere near Skid Row. There's 78,000 homeless residents there. Homeless people, to me, are fine as long as they're not messing with me, and I try my best to help and get back and do things like that. I've literally taken homeless people to get haircuts and clothes and food and everything before. But when it gets to the point where, like, I'm walking outside and I feel violated, and I'll tell you this, I live in Hollywood and my car got stolen a couple months back, and, like, in downtown LA, it's happening every other second. I'm like, I don't want to be in that situation. And Tommy and I were talking about it. Tommy and I have met each other a good few times now, but we were at Saddle Ranch and we were just randomly talking about it because he was talking about how he was moving there, and I was like, oh.
So, like, how do you handle, like, I mean, are you the type of person that would give somebody that's homeless $20 or give them a sandwich or walk by them, or like how do you handle that?
Oh, I mean, for me, it's all situational based. If they look like a crackhead, I'm probably going to get them food. Some of them are just like not in good shape in regards to like their physical appearance because they're malnourished, and you might get you might think, but you can also tell based off what they ask for. If they ask, they'll usually say, like yesterday I was asked if they can can you get me some food? They didn't ask for money. They just asked for food. That to me, oh yeah, like if I have it and there's something really nearby, like yeah, sure, cool. But I do give people. I was driving before I had my car stolen. I was driving and there's this guy with a sign, and he was, supposedly, you never know if they're lying or not. It could be a scheme, but he was like a veteran, and you could tell that he's been through a lot. He's probably in the 60s, and I was like, I hate that I'm seeing this.
Oh, no.
And because I have respect for people who are in the military, I had a 50 on me. I gave him the 50. I'll give him whatever I have in my wallet usually, depending on how I interpret the situation.
Okay, I think that's like probably the best answer that you could have said, because I feel like every single person is a person. It's like they all do have different lives, different situations. So I feel like that's the best way to handle any of that.
You just can't give to the cause. Like, I will say, there was this one time, this guy right outside my apartment, we were walking back. I was on one corner of the street. He immediately comes up to me and asks me for a few bucks. I did not have it. I only had cards on me. And I'm like walking across the street trying to get away from him. And he walks to the corner, and runs across the street because I just quickly got away from him. And he goes, bro, I wasn't asking for money per se. I was asking if you could buy me something. I'm like, what do you want? There's this bottle of vodka, and it's in this tiny plastic thing, and then in this little store you're about to go into. Do you mind picking me up one? And I could tell he was already kind of effed up on alcohol, not anything else, I don't think.
Yeah.
And so I kind of had fun with it, and I said, rock, paper, scissors on shoot. And he won. So I said, So I went there, got it, and the guy's like, you're basically freaking hurting that dude more. Let the guy live, bro. Like,
I spend my money on it. Why can't he spend his money on it?
Yeah. So I was like, he just beat me in rock, paper, scissors. So I walked outside. I got it, tossed it in the air. The guy said, and he just starts drinking all of it. I'm like, that's disgusting, but cool for you, man. And I do things like that. Like that to me is fire.
I love that. I love that. That's you can have fun with it too. Cool. Okay, so you were homeschooled as a child.
Yeah.
Like middle school, right? Was it just middle school? Was it all throughout like your whole
I was
school
pulled
career?
out of public school in the middle of my 6th grade year. And then I was homeschooled all the way up to my junior year.
Okay. So like, oh wow, junior year. So that was the year that you were like applying to colleges. Did you apply to
Junior year, I did. Junior and senior year, I was in school, but it was like up until like the beginning, first 9 weeks of my junior years when I finally got re-enrolled back into school. But yeah, I was homeschooled for a while. I was literally yanked out. I remember over the intercom, my dad told the principal or whatever, Christian, please go to your locker, grab all your stuff, and meet me at the office. And I go there. I have no idea what's happening. My dad had threatened it before, but I never thought he was serious. But I had no idea. And I go up there, and my dad's like signing papers, and they're releasing me from school. And I'm like,
wow.
and it was like my whole life changed.
Was there a specific reason? Was it a job? Was it
I was too involved. I wanted to impress girls, the girl I was with, more than I cared about grades. In 4th and 5th, I was like a troublemaker. And then 6th grade, it was that. I dated the same girl from my 5th grade year to my junior year. Like we dated for forever. So that was the same girl. I was just so focused on her. And even when we had to go homeschool, I thought we were gonna break up, but like I like cut the grass and had enough money to go buy a flip phone and like talk to her on the phone. And then we like lived neighborhoods over, so I would like walk 3 miles a day to go hang out there. When I was, I'm young, and so I'm just like doing my thing. But yeah, he pulled me out. I was still in sports and still in all that stuff. But that shaped my life because public school really hurt me. So did homeschool at first. I cheated at first on a lot of things. But public school hurt me really bad because I was going through a lot of mental stuff at home. Parents were like constantly separating and doing this and doing that. And like I would act out in school. And dude, no kidding, like my teachers would like sit there and bash me. You're never going to amount to anything. You're not going to get into college. They all knew that I was dating this girl. I was young. You're not going to work. She's not going to date you. She's not going to stick with you. She's not this. She's not that, whatever. You're going to be a bum. These are grown adults telling me all these things as a child, and they don't even realize that I'm coming to school like this because I'm going through a dark place at home. And I'm not saying my life was terrible. I have great parents, but for a while, things were kind of shitty with like their situation, and I felt like it always kind of recoiled back on me. Anyway, got through all that, and I think the best thing about it, when I graduated high school, I had full ride scholarship to the University of Alabama, Georgia Tech, USC, UCLA, a bunch of really big schools, and a lot of them were academic and sports. I went back to my 5th grade teacher. I emailed her and said, whatever, I'm just going to come pull up. And I still have the email to this day. I read it sometimes. I sat outside with her and I said, I want you to know, because I was about to be 19 at the time. What you said to me gave me the drive to be the best version of myself now. I don't appreciate the things you did say, because what you don't realize, Miss Watson, name drop, was I was hurting. I'd come to school every single day depressed and I didn't know anything about taking your own, like, whatever away, like your own life. Didn't know anything about that in 5th grade or anything, but I definitely would go to school and I would just, like, not really want to, like, do anything. I was like, and y'all didn't know that because I was a kid and didn't know how to voice that to you. And you guys are punishing me and you never let me do things. I never got to go to a single field day. I never got to go to a single thing or a single anything. None of the, like, the little galas that they do for, like, kids. Never got to go in it. They never let me participate. And I was like, you took a lot away from me as a kid. You took a lot away from me. She cried her eyes out looking at me saying, like, I'm so glad that you figured this out and you did this and you did that and you're going to amount to whatever. Like, you're going to amount to anything you want. But that hurt me so much. It hurt me so much. And then nowadays, like, now I've gotten to the point where I live in Los Angeles and I'm like doing this and doing that. Like I wish I could have every single doubter that's ever doubted me sit at a table with me that I cater for them. Like I just want that to be like I wish, but life doesn't work that perfect, and
I mean, you also said that your dad like looked down on your streaming when you were around that age too. And
Well, so when I became homeschooled, I had all this free time. I would cheat on all my stuff and then game all day long. And then I like started streaming, and he always thought it was so stupid, like so stupid. And if I could tell anybody here anything, who gives a damn what people think about you or say about you? It doesn't matter if they're blood or not. You do what you want to do because you don't want to be 50 and 60 and 70 and tell yourself, I never did that, and I am upset about it. And he didn't like it. It's not practical, and I agree. It's not practical. None of it's practical. It's
I mean,
unstable.
yeah, but this is a capitalistic society where you can use your skills. Nobody has to go to college. You can do trade work. There's so many things that you can do. I mean,
So many things you could do. But
make
the thing
more money
is,
than with an education. Like,
for adults that didn't grow up in the same life that we did, we grow up with, we have phones and we have all these apps and we have this and that, and they didn't have that 40 years ago, 50 years ago. They didn't have that. So I do try to give some type of mutual respect. Like, I get it. You don't understand mine, and I don't understand yours. You don't see me putting on bootstraps and these jeans and ripped up shirts and going and doing plumbing because I don't understand how to do it. I don't do it. I don't tell you how to do yours, and you don't tell me how to do mine. Just like I am with the bank. I'm not going to tell you how to bank if you don't tell me how to stream.
yeah.
So
How is your relationship with your dad or both of your parents?
it's great.
Is
It's
it?
great. They're both very, very proud of me. Being from Alabama and having that background, a lot of people pocket watch me. My dad's a 7-figure man, so he doesn't pocket watch me, but he pocket watches me. He likes to see he wants to make sure I'm living up to what he wants me to be.
Okay.
It feels like at times. But he's very, very proud of me. He loves me very, very much. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I'm the second youngest, and I'm 25. But, very, 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 very proud of me. My mother and I were not close for a while. When I graduated, she apologized to me, and her and I are best friends now, and we're great. And she's also my mom that I look at as a mother, not just as a friend, which is good. So I'm really, really good with my family now, and they've all accepted it. My dad still doesn't understand my thing, and I will say the most fun time I had ever had doing a stream was the night that I did a creators only show, and I had thousands of people in there, and my dad tuned in to watch. He didn't even have to guess.
I love it.
And he was in there, and I had the entire chat say hey to dad for me.
Nice.
And that for me was surreal to see my father in the chat. He called me the nickname that he always called me as a kid, and I didn't know his name. His name was one of those spam. You would think it's a spam account, no gift or badge or nothing. He's just,
Or whatever.
yeah, but he commented something that made me I saw him, it made me so happy. So
Oh, that's really sweet.
yeah, he's proud for sure.
That's great, especially coming from that perspective originally and kind of winning him over with it. That's everything. I feel like that's everything every streamer wants, because I know a lot of people relate to, just anybody, not just their parents, anybody around them judging them for this kind of work. It is a job. So
I left the job. I left a job making $250,000 a year to do TikTok for $500 a week. From a dad to see her son work so hard to get a job, does really, really well, and then leaves it all to make $500 a week on TikTok. I'm going backwards. I'm not going forwards. So of course he was stressed out. And I remember a few months after I was really doing TikTok full time and everything, I was paying all my bills. I took my family up to a restaurant, and we all sat down. And my parents are divorced, but we still have a really good family. We can all still go to dinner and be civil. And we sat there at dinner, and I told my dad, I was like, Dad, I'm going to move to Miami. I'm going to move to Fort Lauderdale. Chase my dreams. We're going to get a big mansion, and we're going to do this, do that. And he's just sitting there dude, he knows my shelf life is just, it's going to stop. Because he doesn't understand it. So he's like, he thinks it's going to be gone in like 2 days, you know? I said, I'm going to do it. I promise you I'm going to make it happen. Well, instead of Lauderdale, I moved to Los Angeles, California, and my rent is $5,000 a month. And guess what? He can't say I can't pay my bills because I can, and I pay for everything. And I have proved him so wrong in so many different avenues that he doesn't ever doubt me. He never doubts me. He tells me all the time, I'm your greatest fan. I'm just so, it's a really good feeling.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next like segment of this. So I'm gonna say some names, and you're just gonna give me your opinion. You said you like name dropping, so hopefully this part is a little bit easier for you than some other creators that I have on here.
Sure.
Guys, if you want to know his opinion on other people's other creators, then just drop the names in the chat. Okay, Ranch Ryan.
I mean, that's the dating show host guy that I did. So, I mean, it's fine. I don't have a problem with him. I don't. I tell you what, if he wasn't around, I would have had to do it another way. So he allowed me to, figure out the ropes on TikTok. So he's fine.
Has there never been any situations there?
Oh no, definitely. Like him and I definitely have had our problems, but I'm much older than he is, so I think that in regards to like life, I don't take our shit as serious because we are so different, and I have a lot more maturity onto him. Like I know, so no, technically speaking, nothing that's like crazy.
Okay. What about Mia Khalifa?
I did everybody on the app a favor. I sent her the first ever uni when she was live. I thought it was awesome. I think I did like $1,500 worth that day because I sent 25 Leon the Kittens. I don't know why. I was in this funny phase. I was only doing it for clips. I ain't gonna lie. I clipped everything and Prince. I hate. What's the other guy's name? I hate name dropping one and not a few other people. A bunch of them were in there gifting, like a bunch. So I wasn't the only one. I was just the only one who maximized it. So yeah, no. I don't really have any ties to it. And after that, I never essentially. Yeah. But don't get me wrong. Like back in the day, I might have had a flick or two. But I was young, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. What about Kay? Do you know Kay? I think her name's Kay Blair. Kay.
Yeah, Kay. She's played my show a bunch of times. She's been around since the Ranch Ryan days. She did some things to Chelsea that I don't like, and I think were really fucked up. And so I will never agree with that because I really like Chelsea. So I don't judge her, but I don't really give her a platform anymore because of it.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna ask Chelsea next. I don't know.
Yeah, to me, she's like my little sister, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, she fucks up and she says some of the wrong things and she definitely is not perfect, but she was one of the first 8 people to ever play my show. Like, she was in my boxes that night when I made myself big screen. So I have a certain level of just love for her, and she also is really close with Barstool too. So no, I could never say anything bad about her. And low key, when I needed somebody to help me clickbait for my show, she was there.
Nice.
And never charged me, but charged a lot of other people. Never charged me. I love that.
Okay, yeah, that's real. What about Marty?
One of my best friends. Yeah, he's a brother. He's a brother to me.
Johnny Sholey.
Brother. He was at my house last night.
Yeah. Guys, put names in the chat. Vlogger.
Brother.
The cutest.
We're literally we're Marty, Johnny, me, Barstool, Hunter. We're all in a group chat, and we just on text. He has all of our phone numbers, and he'll FaceTime me. He'll FaceTime me seriously, and he's practicing what he's gonna say before I answer, and he goes, "What's up, bro? What's up, bro?" He's saying "What's up, bro" before the thing because he wants to make sure he says it correctly. and I love it. It's so cute. So yeah, he's a bro. He's a bro.
Okay, Alpha, Mr. Best.
I think he's a funny dickhead. I think I don't agree with everything he says, but he said some things about somebody that I genuinely have so much like animosity against. And I'm not going to say that person's name unless you do. So
Okay.
I loved his take on that person, but him and I don't share a screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't share a screen, but I don't have a problem with him. I think I literally do. I think he's a dickhead, but I think he's just maximizing off clouds and maximizing off drama, and like it's just so many people do that. It's not like new,
Okay.
but he definitely does it. No
What
way.
about Tyler Thibodeau?
Him and I used to hate each other. I used to have him blocked for forever. But him and I are fine now. I think I'm one of the only ones that just genuinely talk shit to him. And like I'm mean as fuck to him, and I don't cower down when he talks shit back.
Yeah, no, he knows how to bring it, so I feel like he needs that.
Yeah, I'm one of the only ones that just genuinely gets him like I will text him. I will call him the most vile shit. If it's quiet game, I'll text him it so he sees it all. And then I'll like kind of go into it. No, but him and I, he made men's up. He made men's up with me. Him and I are good.
Okay, nice. J-Hop?
I don't know much about him. I like his car. I like his monkey. J-Hop, in my opinion, he's a fucking pioneer to this shit. He's been doing it for a long time. So there's a mutual level of respect I have for him.
Nice.
Just being here as long as he has. Because I've definitely learned a couple things from watching a lot of these streamers.
Yeah.
And I will say I used to show him some love. Even before I was like really big, I used to show him some love. And we battled a bunch of times too. But, you know.
Yeah.
I have no bad things to say about him.
Who are the Mata twins? I don't know who that is.
That's Nick and Anthony Mata.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know who they are.
Yeah, they're the boys. I don't have a problem with them.
The Boys. Nice. What about Check the Star?
Who?
Check the Star?
I feel like I know.
He was the one that kind of helped. What's his name? Oh my gosh. Y'all tell me, please. The dude that was like in his boat during the hurricane. What was his name? Oh my gosh. Lieutenant.
Oh, you want Lieutenant Dan or whatever?
Yeah, he was helping Lieutenant Dan, and then there was some drama there. I mean, he's obviously there's plenty of things, but that was the guy that was helping.
I don't really know Check the Star too much. I never really paid attention to the whole Lieutenant Dan thing, to be honest. So I don't really know much about it.
Okay, yeah, fair. Joe Malone. Who is that?
I don't know who that is.
Okay. Dean and Parker, do you know them?
Yeah, the people who do the what's it called? The politic debates.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about them?
I think they're very, very intelligent. I don't agree with everything they say at all, but they're so intelligent, and I have always thought about getting up there. I did request one time for an hour, but there were so many people there because I knew so much about what they were talking about, and I knew that I could have a level-headed conversation where we're not talking over each other. Because I am a very if I study something, my IQ is fairly good on that certain subjects, I guess. But freaking power to them. They have maximized everything to the peak of TikTok interviews or TikTok debates. I have no problems with them.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't agree with everything they say.
What about Hydro?
He's one of the boys. Met him a few times. I know him personally. I got his number. Him and I've talked plenty of times. You know.
Adriel Sigler?
She's a freaking washed piece of shit.
You guys used to battle, right?
Yeah, and I called her out, and I called everybody out for just battling her to make money.
Okay.
That's all people do. I made money off of her, and then I got to the point where I think this is disgusting, and I I honestly kind of shit on people who like constantly battle her, even when they know, like, even when they know the deal, they know what she's done, and like what's actually come out in the news about her, and they're like still cool with that. I think it's kind of lame.
What is his name? Rich the Kid? Is that his name? Something the Kid.
Ness.
Ness the Kid. Thank you.
Yeah, that whole situation is so weird to me too. But like I said, a lot of that's content based, and they know what they're doing. And I exposed all the DMs I had with Atriel a ton. She was into me, wanted to talk to me, wanted to be in my DMs, wanted me to hang out with her. Got mad when I didn't.
I'm surprised. You look a little older.
Me, I do.
Yeah, I mean, you don't look like you're like 14, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking to myself, like, I thought I had to be like under, but dude, I don't know. And it was crazy about it was, is like she like told me the numbers in her, like she told me what she was saving up to where she could move to New York, like to like the city. Yeah, she said she wanted to get $1 million saved. Check the tick leaf. It's getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem with giving certain people a platform. Big Keen?
Battled him a few times. Battled him on the other app a couple weeks ago, and I didn't really have smoke. And he was like, he wasn't a dickhead about it. So I don't agree with everything he probably says. I'm sure it's just like alpha and stuff. You know, they're all in that same group. But no, I don't. He knows what he's doing. He knows content. He's done well off the app. You know, so he just has a different way of portraying his content. I think that's cool for him. But I don't.
What about Mrs. G? Is that what you said?
Yeah, no problem with her either. She just does her thing, and I met her a few months back, and her and I hit it off when it comes to like battling and stuff. But typically speaking, I don't really like talk to her, know much about her.
Ammo Barbie?
I think she's a drunk.
Oh my gosh, Ammo Barbie. Ash Trevino?
Her new stinks. I named her. We've named her bedbugs. So you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadie?
I think she's insane, but in the best way.
Okay. I mean, she's profiting off of it. Like she's.
Dude, she is a marketing guru.
Yeah.
When it comes to their stuff. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Von Kiss?
Don't know.
Terry Joe?
Had a few interactions with Terry Joe. Unique. It's interesting. Not money based. It's all content. I think it's unique.
Okay, who's your least favorite creator? I'll tell you mine if you want.
Who's yours?
Alpha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't.
You can.
Not on this one.
But you love name dropping.
They don't know that I feel this way about them, but they hit me up still. I kind of like, I'm waiting for the right time. It's got to be strategic about this one because there's still, let's just say, I put that person on.
Oh, did they not just take advantage of you, but like go too far with it or something? Like,
I just don't agree with the ethics. I don't like ethics of I don't like ethics of streamers that manipulate their gifters. The reason why I am publicly like public about the fact that I have a girlfriend is because no girl should be gifting me if they're only gifting me because they want to get in my pants or because they want me to fly them out or whatever. I do not do that. I don't fuck with that. I fucked up one time doing that, and I hated it because it turned out to be so much worse, and I feel so sorry for that part. But anyway, I want my girlfriend to fuck with me and trust me and love me. So if I'm going to have that level, the female presence in my life has to understand that I am You know, I'm occupied. And if you gift me, great. Thank you so much. That means I'm being entertaining enough for you to still spend your money on me. But if you are gifting me because you want something to come out of it, fuck off. I will not do it. I am not going to manipulate you for your coins. I'm not going to send you pictures. I never did when I was single. I'm not going to act like I'm dating you. I'm not going to talk to 10 different people. And out of all my mods, I have one guy. I've had a few different guys, but I've had like some go. They're all female, and I trust them. They trust me, and I've never had a single misconduct issue with any of them, and I love that part.
Okay, so it's a woman.
Some women do it, but no, technically no.
I'm done guessing. I'm not trying to push it. I do think it's kind of funny though. Okay. Yeah. Guys, do you have any other names, or do you guys want to do you want to ask any questions? We usually do toxic questions at the end of this,
Cool.
but we're not we're not co-hosting. We're like, what is this called? I don't know. You're in my box.
Guest boxing.
Yeah, guest boxing. So we can't do battles. Faith Gone Fishing.
We used to follow each other. She was like cool with Heath, so she always used to join my live and stuff and watch my show, but I don't know anything about her.
Yeah, Katrina's wondering when you're marrying Barstool.
When the time's right.
Okay.
When I'm emotionally ready.
Okay, yeah, healthy. Love that. Missy Peterson?
Don't know much about her besides she gets in drama all the time.
Okay.
I like this name dropping thing. It's kind of fun.
I know, right? Caleb, we already asked him. What is the consistency of your last bowel movement?
The flip. Solid.
You said solid? Okay, that's good. Well...
That W question, best question so far.
Yeah, I don't know. Your chat wanted to know, I guess. But
No. It's just a little solid piece. It was good.
yeah. Guys, do you have any last questions for Christian? We will take a few of them. They shouldn't be the one that I just asked. Oh, because that's different. How many donuts can you stack? Okay, no. Frank Show? Somebody was saying Frank Show earlier.
One of the boys, I was on the phone with him yesterday.
Okay, guys, if you're just gonna say things like brick check, we're probably gonna be good on that.
Oh my god, what the heck, chat?
You guys, you don't have a single question that you've been wondering about Christian the whole time that you've followed him? There's nothing that you want to know about him. I mean, they must know every detail about you. What happened to the car?
I mean, it got stolen, and I got it found. All my mods found it. They spent 8 hours on Google Earth searching the roads for this picture they posted on Facebook Marketplace of a green siding red garage house, and they found it.
Wow, that's actually insane.
Yeah.
Somebody was wondering, has anybody unalived from embarrassment from the show?
Nah, it's insane. No, I would have stopped it way back then.
Yeah.
Oh,
This was a good interview. Do you have any final comments? Are you trying to promote the thing that you're doing in July?
I'll tell you what, I'm still not going to mention too much on it yet, but it is going to be absolutely insane. And let's just say, I feel like it's gonna break the internet. Like I really do. It's gonna be so much bigger than TikTok. It's gonna be so much bigger than like what we're used to seeing. Like it's gonna be sick. And I tell you, like girls and guys are invited. So I tell you, Sarah, I could open up a potential RSVP spot, but it's got to be one of those things. If you get told the date, the time, it's in July 100%, you have to come. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to make it a plan.
You gotta see how flexible I am, man. Like, you gotta know that when I say I'm gonna interview you on your time, when I say that I have a simp in my roster that will pay for my flight the day of. You have to
Let's just say
understand.
that it may or may not get covered potentially already. I mean, who knows? I have no idea. I have no idea what to expect. But I know this event's probably gonna be $100,000 plus event just to make it happen.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it's not. This isn't like just your traditional. Oh, hey, everybody's gonna meet up and we're all gonna make content. It's nothing like that. So yeah, you'll see. You'll see. Okay.
That's
So
exciting, man. That's
you're saying that you could make it happen.
Yeah. I'll be there. For sure. I'll drop everything.
All right, I just put you on RSVP list. Literally, it's only invites from me. Like I'm the only one able to invite people to
No, I
this thing.
can't invite, like, a person.
Uh, I gotta get all the details done first.
Is
People,
Tom-
it's gonna be. I will say this. This is gonna be so unique. It's gonna be a way for fans to also meet you.
Is Tommy gonna be there?
I haven't talked to him. Like I said, this is like you're literally the only. You're only the 17th person that I've RSVP'd. I've kept it very hush hush.
Yeah, I like it. I'm in
So-
regardless. I'm social enough. I don't know. I don't really care.
This is going to be a content like literally just so it's so much free content in regards to just clips and making it insane. I literally there's going to be trailers about this. Like everyone's gonna know about this on the app. Everyone's
I
gonna
love
know.
that. I love that.
Everyone's gonna want to post something about it. It's gonna create content before, leading up to it, everything. Yeah, it's gonna be
Exciting.
everyone's gonna have a place like everyone's gonna have a place there. Like you're going to have a purpose being there. Like just because you may not be as big as like somebody else that makes like $10 million, a year, it doesn't matter. You will have just as much say as that person, which is gonna be so cool.
Yay! Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I want to have girls and guys. Like it needs to be. I would like to have a split 50-50 of that. That would be ideal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm working on it. I gotta reach out to the peeps, see what they say, and yeah, like I said, I will give it in the next 30 days. Everything's probably gonna be released, or earlier than that. Everything will be released. Everyone will know probably before March 1st.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah, it's
You're such an entrepreneur or whatever it's called. Entrepreneur.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it. All I do is I make calls and that stuff. So I'm gonna tell you this. That's the only thing I'm gonna mention is chat. Stay freaking tuned. It's gonna be the craziest watch, and it's also gonna be one of the craziest things because if you want to, you will have the ability to come and watch what the heck is actually happening because it's gonna be a big fan meet and greet too.
So fun! Oh my gosh, I
So-
love like activities. I literally like this is fun. Yay.
Yeah, this is literally your reaction is how everyone has. And some people know the vibes, but like I said, we're keeping everything so hush hush like right now. So
I know. Yay! This is exciting. Oh my gosh. Cool.
yeah, I'm excited. That's cool. Well, chat, y'all freaking heard it here first. You're the first girl on the actual out of the 17. Because 2 of them have not hit me back yet. They're like, I don't know yet.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't matter the only thing that I ever have going on that I'm like, I need to be here for this is like seeing my child, and I can also like schedule that when I want to. So it's like, I don't know, like I'm just like I'm like never gonna be tied down type shit, you know? So
Everyone's gonna want to go. everyone is going to want to be at this thing. Even the creators that end up not getting that invite, I feel like they're going to be like, why can't I get in? Or this. It's going to be one of those types of events. We're gonna sell out. Like this could be like genuinely freaking crazy.
Yeah, no, that's hype. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very exclusive. So I'm excited. This is the first time I've publicly talked about it without saying what it was.
Oh my gosh. Well,
I'd
this
say-
is gonna be posted on my YouTube channel, so
Yeah, listen, hope it goes mega viral. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate it. Thank you. So
well,
Yeah.
did you have fun? Was it like a waste of your time or was it
no, this was good. This was good. You had good questions. You were in order. It wasn't all about the same thing the whole time. So it was good. I liked it.
Yay. Thank you. I
I
appreciate it.
appreciate you for having me, and everybody in the chat. I hope you guys are also like following Sarah, not just watching her, and make sure you guys are showing her love. She said it before, because she's making content that is not particularly what everybody does to make the money. She's making less, and she doesn't do everything she does for money, but take care of her. You know what I mean? You show her a little bit of love. You do this, you do that. She shows love. She creates these environments for you. So make sure you guys are showing love to her as well.
Thank you so much. Like it's really hard to say that, like advocate for yourself with it too, because I do want to make this content. I really enjoy it. So
Entertainment's not free, Sarah. Entertainment's not free. I don't care what it is. If anybody said whether it's TV or anything, everything costs something. You got to watch it because you paid something to be in that spot. People choose to be on here more than their own TVs. Fantastic. So, I will say this: the event more than likely will be in Texas.
Oh, perfect. That's
Yeah.
super close.
It's like really centralized, so everybody could probably take one-way flights to get there.
I love that.
So that I will say that. And
Nice.
like I said, no more. I can't say
Okay,
anything else.
yeah, don't overextend yourself.
I can't say anything else.
Yeah. I can tell how excited you are though, which makes me really excited.
It's never been done before, ever in
Oh my
streaming.
God.
In the streaming world, it's never been done. It's been once done before, but on YouTube, and it was years ago, and it was large then. But this right here is gonna be like crazy. And by the way, nobody can crash it. There's gonna be security that are gonna get paid crazy dollars. So if you're not RSVP to be there, you will not be able to make it in the event. It will not be a drama-filled event. It's going to be fun, entertaining, and people will be able to watch it.
That's so hype, dude. Like, you're my type of people. Like, I need people in my life that are creative and want to do things like this. Like, want to change the game, want to, initiate some new like thing. I just love that.
No, it's gonna be absolutely freaking epic. This whole thing's gonna be. I think it's gonna open up people's eyes. And you know what? I'm gonna say one last thing. The stigma that I'm trying to break is I'm better than you because I'm a creator that does 10 million diamonds a month. I'm trying to break that freaking barrier when this event happens, because I want people who are not as big to meet the people who are big, and it'd be just one of those situations where you're just getting close to people, you're getting to know people, and like you rock with that person now. That's what this is trying to do as well. We're trying to solve a problem, but also create something that's never been done before. So,
I love it. I love
yeah.
it.
But I'm gonna see my way out of here. I'm glad I was able to.
Thank you so much for coming on, man. Like,
And I will see you guys all later.
all right, peace out, dude.
Later.
I have to pee, so